Okay, great, 2 forks high, raise the stakes, risk it all, I take the hate. This the winning team, get the Gatorade. My guy good, but he's not safe, nah. They try to shut us down and it ain't gon' slide. Only thing I fear is God and he on my side. That's the confidence I got, cause he got me. That's why I really feel like you can't stop me. Oh, that's all you got. Come on with it. That's all you got. You can't stop me. You don't got the power. Shut me down. That's not enough. I'm my biggest problem. You don't got the power. Shut me down. That's not enough. You can't stop me. You're my biggest opponent. You know me, I know you, we know it. Whenever I fail, you always been there to simply remind me I've blown it. You don't see when I'm growing. You don't see where I'm going. You only see in the moment. You know my mistakes. You never let go it. Don't cease to amaze me, and it drive me crazy. That you catch every detail that I miss in the songs I'm making. Saying you will never write a verse like Kendrick. Never be the rapper I got from Hendrix. Top 10 alive. You will never be mentioned. Why aim so high? Won't survive the trenches. Plus, you a Christian, Andy. They will never listen, Andy. Plus, we a pigment, Andy. You don't got skill. You a gimmick, Andy. Well, if I listen to you and everything you put in my ear, I'll be living like woulda, shoulda, coulda. I'll be paralyzed by fear. Ain't that the truth? If I quit, the only way I lose. I got 2 choices when I do this: make moves or make excuses. If you know who I'm talking about, then you got me. My biggest enemy is me, and even I can't stop me. They try to shut us down and it ain't gon' slide. Only thing I fear is God and he on my side. That's the confidence I got, cause he got me. That's why I really feel like you can't stop me. Ooh, that's all you got. Come on with it. That's all you got. You can't stop me. You don't got the power. Shut me down. That's not enough. I'm my biggest problem. You don't got the power. Shut me down. That's not enough. You can't stop me. If I cannot stop me, then you'll never stop me. Oh no, can't stop. Oh no, won't stop. I said if I cannot stop me, then you'll never stop me. Oh no, can't stop. Oh no, won't stop. I said if I cannot stop me, then you'll never stop me. Oh no, can't stop. Oh no, won't stop. I said if I cannot stop me, then you'll never stop me. Oh no, you can't stop me. Ooh, that's all you got. Come on with it. That's all you got. You can't stop me. You don't got the power. Shut me down. That's not enough. I'm my biggest problem. You don't got the power. Shut me down. That's not enough. You can't stop me. I don't do the most, but I do a lot. I'ma make a toast, cause we still alive. No big, I feel like Pac. I shoot a shot. I'm coming in hot. Coming in hot. Shoot that. Hey, why not? Yeah, coming in hot. Coming in hot. Just like the fajita. I write what I live. My life in the speaker. I'm nice with the flow. Just like the demeanor. I'm feeding my fam. I'm feeding the meter. They got the iron while I got the steamer. I bring the fire, but you never seen her. I testify, I don't need a subpoena. They want my soul, better go to Korea. I love my dog just like I'm Peter. Gotta protect him. I made the call up with just like I'm reffing. I know we left, yeah, now we back together, but I guess that is better now. Later than never, like, what's happening? I'ma need y'all quit asking when. Me and my wife gonna have some kids. Right now we just practicing. Teacher said quit rapping, man. That gon' hurt my average. I said thank God I ain't average. Yeah, I'm a bright young man. Kill the GPA and the BPM. Look, we on. So say what you say, cause that's A with Lecrae. From the A train to the A, I'm coming in hot. I don't do the most, but I do a lot. I'ma make a toast, cause we still alive. No big, I feel like Pac. I shoot a shot. I'm coming in hot. Coming in. Shoot that shot. sleeping, so I had to shake them up. I kept it too real. I wasn't faking up. My real life was a headline. Your real life got a deadline. My timeline was a hashtag. Your timeline just a hate crime. Coming in hot, feeling like Pac. Back in 94 when he took 5 shots. Too much drive to ride your wave. Ditch my top and I'm off that lot. Black on black on black on black on black on black on black. You don't have to ball a rap to get them racks on racks. Uber poolers trying to catch my vibe and find my way. Yeah, I know I'm ratchet, but I'm really safe. Hot sauce dripping. Everybody wanna start dipping. First nobody wanna listen. Now everybody pay attention. Now everybody pay fee. Even Trump gotta take a knee. When the horn blow, y'all gon' see. Make the wall fall down like yee. I don't do the most, but I do a lot. I'ma make a toast, cause we still alive. No big, I feel like Pac. I shoot the shot. I'm coming in hot. Coming in hot, coming in hot. Shoot that shot, shoot that shot. Shoot, why not? Hey, why not? Ain't no big, ain't no big. Feel like Pac, feel like Pac. We can't lose, we can't stop, we can't stop. Yeah, coming in hot. Coming in hot. Coming in hot. Coming in hot. Shoot that shot. Hey, why not? Hey, why not? Hey, watch out. I'm coming in hot.
When I'm overwhelmed within from the weight of all my sin, I need a friend to call my own. I need a house to call my home. When I'm broken down inside and there's nowhere else to hide, I need a place where I feel known. Can someone help me? Then I hear you reply, bringing teardrops to my eyes, saying I'm not alone. Oh Lord, I need you now more than ever. Would you put my heart back together? I searched the world till my head hurt just to find out your ways better. Oh, oh, your ways better. Oh, oh, your ways better. Oh Lord, your ways better. Jesus, your ways better. Lord, I am so thankful for the ways that you bless me. Everything you said, making waves like a jet ski. You love every part of me, even when I was messy. Now I see the art in your beauty, so I can finally sing out. Jehovah Jireh, provider. Your way always gets me higher. Even on my darkest days, you're a lighter, my Messiah. Oh Lord, I need you now more than ever. Would you put my heart back together? I searched the world till my head hurt just to find out your ways better. Oh, oh, your ways better. Oh, oh, your ways better. Oh Lord, your ways better. Jesus, Lord, I need you now more than ever. Would you put my heart back together? I searched the world till my head hurt just to find out your ways better. Oh, oh, your ways better. Oh, oh, your ways better. Oh Lord, your ways better. Jesus, your ways better. Oh, oh, your ways better. Oh, oh, your ways better. Oh, oh, your ways better. It's better, better, better. It's better, better, better. It's
Kickstart my heart and take my soul to the OR, 'cause I can't find a pulse, can't find the beat. Flatlined all the time, checking on.
I never imagined I would be here. I couldn't have planned it, couldn't have worked it out. I I didn't believe it when I said it. Everything's about to change, and now I'm facing all of my fears, and there ain't nothing gonna keep me down. A little love is all I needed. Never gonna be the same. Right, right, right where I wanna be. I don't ever wanna leave, yeah. There's nothing better. We're feeling alright, dancing to the beat of the time of our lives together. This is the best thing ever. There's nothing better. We're out in the light, moving to the rhythm of the time of our lives. Whoa, whoa. This is the best thing ever. Under these stars, God's love shines down. No skies have ever been so clear. This is what life is all about. I found myself right here. There's nothing better. We're feeling alright, dancing to the beat of the time of our lives together. This is the best thing ever. There's nothing better. We're out in the light, moving to the rhythm of the time of our lives. Whoa, whoa. This is the best thing ever. The best thing ever. The long-awaited rains have fallen hard on the thirsty ground and carved their way to where the wild and rushing river can be found. Oh, and like the rains, I'm here where the river flows. Yeah. My heart is racing, my feet are weak as I walk to the edge. I know there is no turning back. Once my feet have left the ledge, and in the rush, I hear a voice. It's telling me it's time to take a leap of faith. So here I go. I'm diving in, I'm going deep. In over my head, I wanna be caught in the rush, lost in the flow. In over my head, I wanna go. The river's deep, the river's wide, the river's water is alive. So sink or swim, I'm diving in. There is a supernatural power in this mighty river's flow. It can bring the dead to life, and it can fill an empty soul and give a heart the only thing worth living and worth dying for. Yeah.
I should be on. Hello, there I am. Hey, what's up, everybody? How you doing this morning? All right, no one cares. All right, there it is. Yay. All right, how's your summer going? Someone tell me. What? No. All right, so what have you been doing this summer? Someone tell me. Something interesting? Anybody go see like an awesome 250th?
I went to Canada, and then on my way
Oh,
home,
Canada.
I went to Toronto. Yeah, and then I didn't get, and I had to wake up at 3:45 in the morning.
Okay, I literally said, someone tell me about your July 4th, your 250th experience, and you said Canada.
Yeah, I woke up at
Another
3:40
country.
No, wake up at 3:45.
Did you watch fireworks in Canada? Do they do fireworks in Canada? They celebrate with us?
I made it home for the night.
What do they do in Canada? What do they do in Canada?
Like 3 Canada.
Is there Canada Day?
Yeah, it's
What?
the first.
We should just call it America Day instead of July 4th. America Day. All right, what'd you do? Blow up their floating dock? Like, that's awesome. That's awesome. I forget who it was, but you guys remember the news a couple years ago where someone set up all the fireworks wrong, and they set them all up to go off at the exact same time. And so it was just like, boom, thing. The entire bar, one shot. It lasted like 30 seconds, but it was amazing. So, all right, whose hand am I calling on here? Tegan, all right.
So basically, I was in South Carolina.
So basically.
And 30 of my relatives were there. We're having a party, and it was chaotic.
Sounds like a normal family party. All right, so hey, who here is going to camp with me tomorrow? Camp? Yep. It's going to be great. All right. All right, so we're going to talk a little camp before we go. Okay, couple things as we are preparing for camp. How many of you gotten your packing list and things like that? You've gotten your forms. All right, do you know what your team is? All right, because wink, wink, nod, nod, smile. You might want to have your team colors. Every day. Every day. All right, so if you're on team yellow, you might want to have some sort of team yellow spirit all week long, because we're doing something a little different this year for our camp, and you might want to be great. So a couple other things. How many of you have packed your like sleeping bag, linens, things like that? Okay, because you're in a dormitory that comes with no sheets. Okay, now my personal suggestion is the sleeping bag. Okay, sleeping bag. It's the best. Okay, it's the easiest. Okay. Pro tip: if you can pack a little fan, life is better with the fan. All right. So if not, it's fine. You'll be so tired you'll go to sleep. Anyways, sunscreen. How many of you actually pack sunscreen? Okay. All right. My best sunscreen camp. You ready for my best sunscreen camp story of all time? All right. Jeter. Have you heard the Jeter story yet? Okay. Literally, he looked like a lobster. It was like so red that like literally I thought he had leprosy or something. Okay, it was bad. Okay, so make sure you wear your sunscreen. And when I say like, hey, you should put on some sunscreen, be like, I don't need any. That's a dumb answer. Okay, don't do that. Okay, a couple more other things about camp that you want to be prepared for. We are doing late nights. Have you seen the late night themes? Okay, so late night number 1 is what? Luau, that's right. So Hawaiian shirts. If you would like to do a grass skirt, that's totally fine, just over clothes. Don't be weird. All right, so make sure that you're ready to do that, okay? The second night is what? Manhunt. And we're asking you to wear flannel. This is not my idea, okay? Because like flannel in July in Tampa just sounds like everybody's getting heat stroke to me. But so if I wear flannel, it will be sleeveless flannel at minimum. All right, just like it's going to be straight up Joe Dirt. All right, it's going to be great. Do you all even know who Joe Dirt is? Joe Dirte? No? Okay. Go educate yourselves. Okay, so then, and then the last night is Decades Night. Okay, what decades are you guys doing? 2000s? The 2020s, I hear. Anybody doing the 2020s? No? Okay. So make sure you come. It's going to be lots of fun. Lots of fun. Okay, it's going to be good. Hey, tomorrow morning, what time are you supposed to be here? 7:30. Check in, load in. You will load in your own stuff, okay? This is not some prima donna kind of thing where you can just like come up and drop it off for the bellhop and he's going to put your stuff on the bus, okay? No. Okay? Prima donna? Google it. All right, so so you need to like do your own work. All right, that is it. We're all going to talk about camp for now. We've got lots of other things coming. So today, for our Sunday show, I have 2 guests. And it is not the wisest thing I've ever done. But it's going to be pretty darn funny. All right. No. All right. If you don't know if it's you, it's not you. All right. So, all right. Our guests today are Camden and JR. Let's go. Yeah. This could go horribly wrong, but we're gonna. Oh, that's in a hole. Hang on. Sorry, my leg just went down in the hole, and I don't want to do that. All right, guys, how you doing this morning? How's life?
Good.
Oh, the mics work. That's great. Okay, so they did this in the first hour. They've had a bit more time to think about their answers. I'm hoping we get something better this round. Okay, so By the way, are we recording? Did we remember to record and we're on air? Great. Even better. All right, so why don't you, because not everybody knows who you are, which is be kind of crazy that they don't know that because you're kind of loud. But if, why don't you start with you, all right, yourself, grade, school, all the fun details.
My name's Cam. I'm 13.
Now we're Cam? We're using adult names. Okay, cool. All right, so Camden.
I'm
All
going
right,
into
Camden.
I'm going into 8th grade, and I go to Christ Church Academy.
Okay, so that means he finished 7th. Okay, going into 8th. Christ Church Academy. Okay. 13. Any other major details you want to say about yourself?
I'm tall.
Okay. All right. So we're gonna move on to the next person who has icing all on his face, everywhere. Lots of icing.
My name's JR. I go to Swiss Point, and I'm going into 8th grade, and I'm 13.
Going into 8th grade. Again, I love it. You guys are like, I'm going into 8th grade. Looking forward. I like it. All right, so finish 7th grade, 13. All right, now we had this discussion in the first one. Who's older?
Him.
All right, by how many months?
A lot.
No. It's not a lot. It's like not even 12. All right, so.
September, October, November, December. 7 or 8 months.
7 or 8 months.
It's a lot of months.
It's a lot of months. Okay. All right, so going to Swiss Point, CCA. Okay, Camden, tell us a little bit about what do you like to do? What are your hobbies?
I like to play basketball and go running.
And go running. What kind of running are we talking about?
Long distance.
Long distance running. All right, what is the longest distance you have ever run?
I think
And who is chasing you?
7 miles.
7 miles, okay, which is just over a 10K. Working towards the half marathon?
Yeah.
Yeah,
never run.
okay. All right, so done plenty of 5Ks, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, what's your fastest time for a 5K?
20-30.
Wait, what? 23 minutes is your fastest 5K?
20-30.
20 minutes and 30 seconds. 20, okay. So, if you see me running a 5K in 20 minutes or less, I just go ahead and call the morgue because I'm dead on the side of the road, all right? I come from sports where running is the punishment for mouthing off to the coach. All right, so that's what, and I did that about once a week. All right, so it was great. Okay, so running, do you do sprints?
I do that for track.
Okay, what are they called again? Meets?
Yeah, track meets.
Track meets or whatever? Okay. No, what is it, events that you're in?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I don't know because I don't run again unless I'm really scared. All right, so what events do you compete in?
It's a lot. 100, 400, 800, 1600, 3200.
Okay, what is your fastest 400?
101.
101, is that 1 minute and 1 second? Okay. Yeah, that's never happening for me either. All right, so you like to run and you play basketball, right? All right, JR, what do you do?
I like to play football. I like to go fishing and also basketball.
Okay, so football for the school?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what position do you play?
I play defensive back and I play wide receiver.
All right, defensive back. Earlier he said DB, and like the whole, like everybody in the group was like, what's that? I was like, defensive back. All right, wide receiver. And I asked you this, and you said no earlier, but like, why not be like an offensive tackle or something?
I'm not big enough. I'm not like.
You could do it. It just takes heart, man.
You really think so?
No,
You
but
think
all right. So you defensive back, wide receiver. You play basketball, yeah, for the school or for fun?
For fun.
Okay, for fun. Okay, and then you like to go fishing. Now this is where we could really chat for a long time.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So what do you go fishing for?
So, sometimes I go saltwater. That's pretty fun, like on the
Okay.
boat.
Okay.
I usually go freshwater, like local ponds, like around my area.
Okay.
I catch like bass. I catch tilapia. I catch bluegill.
Okay.
A lot of that stuff. Yeah.
Okay, so catching bass and stuff in our local ponds. Do
Yeah.
you eat anything out of those ponds?
I do not, because that would be disgusting.
That would be disgusting. That would be.
Yeah.
All right, if you don't know what we are talking about, these are the retention ponds that catch all of the runoff. So, like, think of it this way. If you spit in the middle of the sidewalk, the rain will carry that spit all the way into the retention pond, and that's where the fish will eat your spit, okay? And so we don't eat that fish, all right? Among other things, kerosene, whatever else is going down, right? It's nasty. All right, so you catch bass. Do you catch bluegill? You said carp earlier.
I did.
You have, all right, what's the biggest bass you've caught yet?
I About like 8 pounds.
Bro, that's a good sized fish. Yeah. All right. So this is work. This is knowledge for everybody. This is actually one of the best pieces of knowledge. If you ever catch a largemouth bass that is over 10 pounds, and you deliver that largemouth bass alive to the Bass Pro Shop, they will put it in their tank and they will give you a free replica plus like a massive gift card. That's real. All right, but it's got to be 10 pounds. And I'm like right with you. I've only caught like 8s and 9s and stuff like that. Like so close, but not quite there. All right, so you go fishing, saltwater fishing, yeah, all that stuff, yeah? Okay. All right, so I also told you guys to come ready with a talent, ability, and or skill, because girls like guys with skills. All right, so that wasn't for y'all, that was for the adults, because you've not seen that movie probably. All right, so, it's a movie.
Camden.
Does anybody know what movie I just quoted over there? Girls like guys with skills. That's right, Napoleon Dynamite. All right, it's amazing. All right, so Napoleon Dynamite is like one of the classic American movies of all time. All right, Indiana Jones and Napoleon Dynamite. All right, so what is your skill, Camden?
I can offer sing.
You can what? That is not what you led with last hour.
I can offer sing.
You can, all right, hang on. Are you being like for real or are you messing with me right now?
I can sing like 3 words, but yes, I can opera sing.
Okay. How did you discover that you can opera sing? Were you in the shower one day and you're just like, I'm gonna try this?
So I showed this video to my mom. It was a guy who said, I'll give you $500 if you get kicked out of the store. And he got on top of a Target freezer and started.
What are you doing right now? JR, what are you doing?
and started opera singing. So that's where it inspired me from.
Okay. All right.
You want to do it?
Y'all just need to know something. Because in the last hour, I was like, hey, what's your skill? And he's like, my thumb is double jointed.
It is.
And literally, show him. That's what he does. And I was like, that's it? And he's like, yeah. I was like, what do you do? Like, introduce yourself. Hi, my name's Camden, and I'm double jointed. And I was like, ew. Like,
you want me to go?
yeah, I want, but you got to stand up. No microphone. No microphone. This is all natural, okay? Sorry, we need silence. Absolute silence. Absolute silence, everybody. Wait, what are you singing? Figaro. Okay. Figaro. You have a gift, my friend. You should go to Juilliard. Yeah, that's it. All right. Yeah.
Should I do it at camp?
No, but you should do it somewhere. Yeah, maybe on YouTube. I don't know. Yeah, you should do that. TikTok or something. All right. You can opera sing. Fantastic. That's amazing. Man, I hope you can opera sing right now. Can you? No? Okay, no opera singing. All right, JR, what is your talent, skill, and or ability?
Okay, so it's not as good as his, but I could solve a Rubik's Cube in under 2 minutes.
Oh, hang on.
And
do you have a Rubik's Cube on? Oh, yes, you do.
Right
okay, hang on.
And Pastor Jason did mix it up earlier.
I did?
He did.
How did I mix it up?
I don't know.
Oh, you mean the
Like,
mixed up
yeah.
cube, yeah. Yeah, I 100% did that.
I'm gonna solve it and
All right, I have my timer right here. We want to know if we can do this in a legit 2 minutes. In the first hour, he actually did it in 1 minute and 47 seconds. So your time to beat is now 1 minute and 47 seconds. Okay, ready,
Good
set,
luck.
go. So how did you determine you could actually do this?
so when I was grounded.
Oh, that's the best way to start. When I could do nothing in life.
Yeah, and I was allowed to solve a Rubik's Cube. It was pretty fun.
How long did it take you to learn that you could do this?
Weeks. I was grounded. It was actually pretty
You were
fun to
grounded
learn.
for weeks?
Yeah.
What did you do?
You don't want to know.
Okay.
It was actually pretty fun to learn how to solve a Rubik's Cube. I'm actually almost done, but
No, you can't be almost done already. All right, so now you told me something. What is this particular Rubik's Cube called?
so there's different cubes. It's called a speed cube, where you can actually you can move it faster because like it's from like magnets, so it's actually kind of like easier. So that's why I like this cube.
Okay, you're just over 1 minute and 4 seconds now.
Yeah, I'm actually about to solve it. So.
Okay. Listen, when you like flip it and flick it and it goes really fast. Oh no, what happened? Oh, is it on the screen? That's better. Okay, good, because this is dead. Oh, there it is. That was definitely less than 2. All right.
Good job.
Did you keep time up there too? And 1 minute. It was definitely faster than last time, so that's impressive. So okay, I can actually see the magnets up in there. Like you can pull it apart and you can see the magnet in there. That's crazy. All right, very cool. I cannot do that. I can't do that. And there's like different types of Rubik's Cubes, right? Yeah, so what other kinds of Rubik's Cubes are there?
There's just certain Rubik's Cube that I have. It
Thank you.
doesn't work.
doesn't-
Now
yeah,
it
it
does.
does. Yeah, it
So there's different types of Rubik's Cubes. This one's called a speed cube. It like moves very fast. There's another Rubik's Cube. The colors show up when it's like when there's like heat. So like if you put it in the sun, you can only like solve it because like there's colors.
So if it was cold, you would see no colors whatsoever?
No, it would be straight up black.
What if you're colorblind?
You'd probably not be able to solve it. So that
Probably
would
can't solve
suck,
it at all.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
And there's just like other basic.
I just need
Rubik's Cubes.
realistic goals for myself, okay? All right, so.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
there's other Rubik's Cubes that like solve by itself, but those are pretty expensive.
Wait, you just like press a button and it's like do.
Well, it's
and
actually
done.
off the app, and like it could like it's pretty cool. I don't have
So
it.
you just use the app and it does its thing and.
Yeah, I think it'd be pretty good for you because like you could learn.
So in other words, you just go boom like that and
Yeah.
it's done. Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna do that,
Yeah.
but okay.
It's pretty expensive, so.
Oh, all right. So I know they also have like the 16,
Oh
right?
yeah, there's
16
like
square?
pyramids. There's like pyramids.
Pyramids.
Like those are pretty hard.
So all sorts of, so not just
Yeah.
cubes. So it's
Yeah,
a
not
Rubik's
just cubes. It's
pyramid.
Like
Okay,
different
got it.
shapes.
All right, so at this point, we have a game that we're supposed to play, and we're going to play the game, but you guys kind of like botched sort of the process here. Okay, so how many of you guys know what the game disc golf is? Okay, so disc golf is kind of like Frisbee. However, if you call it a Frisbee to a disc golfer, he might get offended. Like, the fact that he's getting offended at all is kind of silly. All right, so, but anyways, you take like these little tiny Frisbee thingies, and you can actually throw them really far and very accurate, okay? And the goal is you want to throw it into a basket, okay? And it's like a metal basket with chains. And so think golf, so you have like a hole that you have to go down, and there's par, there's bogey, birdie, all that stuff. But if you get it in one shot, it's called an ace. In disc golf, it's called an ace. And so a lot of times they'll do ace races and stuff like that, and it's lots of fun. And so I said, you know what, ChatGPT, let's come up with a game. And so ChatGPT and I came up with a game, and it is called Donut Golf, okay? And so Donut Golf is when you take a donut, like this one, and you're going to throw it like a Frisbee, and then the other player has to catch it in their mouth. If it hits the ground, you get to go again. And now listen, y'all. Oh, we can't recreate this moment. But in the first hour, I kid you not, what happened? What happened? What? No. Before, what happened?
So Camden stood up, right? On the mic, there was a whole cockroach on it.
Not a joke.
It was just crawling around.
There was they got up to start throwing food around, and literally a massive cockroach comes out of the couch where they were just sitting. And I was like, hey, you still got to play the game. So now what was supposed to happen is when he makes his basket, right, and gets it in the guy's mouth, then everybody would get a donut. Yep. Whop, whop. All right, because I don't think there's not much over there. Were they good? Did y'all have good donuts? Yeah? Did anybody eat more than one? Gemma's like, I ate all of theirs, right? Okay. I ate everybody's. Okay. It was actually just Gemma. Okay, got it. All right, so we're still going to play this game, and you're supposed to cheer them on because as soon as he made it, you got to eat a donut. Now you just have to pretend like you want to eat another donut, okay? So, all right, so how are we doing this time? You're catching it this time. Okay, so I didn't prepare them, and so he came in with like his rubber bands last time. And he wasn't like, all right, that's not going to work. All right, so you did the catching last time. You still have like icing. Yeah, like everywhere. It took how many throws? A lot. Okay. So, yeah, we eventually just said that's close enough. All right, so here we go. Are you guys ready? All right, let's go. Let's go. Don't mess up.
Okay.
All right.
Said I could change the shape of it?
To a disc, but not a, ew. I'm sure that hand was clean. I'm sure that hand was clean. What are you talking about? 100? No. No, it has to stay disc-shaped. All right. Remember, corner of this and then the corner of the couch. That's where you're starting from. And notice there's lots of frosting on the floor from the last hour, yeah. You don't? No, you got to at this point. Come on, Camden. Got a bit of a...
When can I start?
Anytime. We're waiting, bro. Okay, we got some problems here. Okay. You're aiming at him, okay? You want it to go to him. Just stepped on it. That's even better. And what's worse is I don't think we have any more, so this has got to be the... All right. I'm going to give you a little technique, okay? Here you go. Hold it kind of with your hand underneath it, and you want it to float. Oh, that was so close. The good news is we did kill the cockroach earlier. It is no longer on the donut. All right. We're now going to take... All right, get back right here at your spot. All right. You can take one small step forward. That's where you were at. Take one small step forward. There you go. All right, ready? Oh, that was... Yay! All right, thanks, guys. Hey, give them a round of applause. This is... All right, so this is now when I would send you all to go get your donuts, and I would reset, and I'd have time to get situated, and now I don't. All right, so give me a minute. All right, so how were they? Were they good? Yeah? And my face. Can I wash my hands? And my face? Yes, you may. Okay, so we are finishing up our A Better Way series. We've been doing this all summer, and it's started because I read a book called The Anxious Generation by Jonathan Haidt, another book by Tom Rainer, The Anxious Generation Goes to Church, because something that we've seen in our culture is a rise in anxiety of teenagers. Recent statistic came out that if you talk about the common issues that teenagers face when it comes to mental health and things like that today, it would have actually put you probably in a mental health hospital in the 60s, because things have changed so much. Now, part of that is just awareness, right? Part of that is we talk about it more. Part of it, I'm just going to be entirely honest, is trendy, okay? You're doing it because it's trendy, okay? And there's been a lot of research into why that has happened, okay? Where does this come from? Some of the research really focuses in on screen time and how much time you spend just on a screen. I don't mean a phone or an iPad, right? It's just how much time you spend on a screen, okay? And we're going to talk a little bit about the algorithm, okay? And explain what that is. And if you know, I'm going through brain rot as well, because this stuff will rot your brain. This is my old man moment, I think, almost. But our brain rot for today is touch grass, which I kind of learned doesn't really have anything to do with grass at all. All right, so it essentially is when you are in your bat cave or whatever playing video games for 10 hours straight, which some of you guys do, right? Or you're on your phone and you don't interact with other people, and it's like, okay, now you need to go out and face reality and stuff like that. Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit about the algorithm, because really what kind of pushed me over the edge of doing this series this summer is there was a lady, she's now an adult, but she sued Meta a few months ago. She's in Arizona, New Mexico, somewhere. I think it was New Mexico. She sued Meta for emotional damages because of the algorithm and what it's designed to do. She won hundreds of millions of dollars because they could actually prove that it had done the damage. Let that settle in. She made a claim that being on social media and doom scrolling negatively affected her emotional health as a minor, and she won hundreds of millions of dollars because they could prove it. All right, so that caught my attention. Okay, let's see, how did they prove that? What was the logic behind it? All right, so how many of you guys know what a slot machine is from like Vegas or Biloxi or something like that? Right, okay. So, slot machine is down you go, all right, and the little 3 wheels turn, and you're trying to get 3 things in a row or something like that so you can get money back. And generally it just runs on coins or whatever that you put in, right, and you're trying to get money back or something. All right, so people get addicted to these slot machines, like straight up crazy level addicted, all right? And there's 4 reasons behind the psychology of a slot machine. And one is that you have to be isolated, like it's just you and the slot machine, right? And so you have to kind of like not pay attention to the world around you, and so you're working the slot machine. Second is they never give you exactly what they want or what you want. They give you almost what you want, right? It's like 2 and like 1. And so maybe you get like a little bit of money, and you're like, oh, maybe just 1 more, right? And so you just throw another one in, right? So they never give you exactly what they want. They give you only almost as close as what you want. Third, it takes a time amount, okay? So like it can't be like slot, 3 hours later, another slot. No, it has to be in about 30 seconds or less so that you stay hooked and you stay engaged, okay? And then, hey, stop that, okay? And then what they found is they took that exact same psychology and they applied it to the algorithm. You see, there's a reason that your videos only last a minute or less. There's a reason that it starts learning things about you. And listen, it's creepy. Have you ever had that moment where like you're talking about like, you know, I think I want to buy a boat or something like that, right? And then all of a sudden you pull up your phone and what are the ads all about? And you're like, oh, it's listening to me, right? Okay, and it's this terrifying feeling, right? Why? Because it is listening to you. Okay, so like, it's this idea that it starts learning about you. Okay, now how many of you have ever had a conversation with ChatGPT? Okay, I have. I do it all the time. Sometimes my conversations with ChatGPT are like, hey, Chat, I need an image with the title slide that says donut golf and looks like, okay, and I tell it what to do, and I'm like, bam, there it is, and I just throw it up on the screen, okay? Other times it's like, hey, Chat, I need an image of Ewoks walking through the sequoia background of Mac OS, okay? And that's what becomes my wallpaper, and I'm such a geek, but it's really cool. All right, so a lot of that. But it has learned things about me. It's really creepy. Like one time I was talking about Star Wars stuff, and it says, hey, Jason, as a middle school pastor, I was like, whoa, 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 Chat. Whoa. Like, what do you mean as a middle school pastor? Like, we're not talking about middle school ministry right now. It was like, well, you have like lots of years in student ministry experience. I'm like, okay, slow down. This is getting creepy, okay? And all right. It learns about you, and then not only does it learn about you, it begins to start leading you. Why? Because the whole purpose of the algorithm is to what? Make money, okay? And if it's not making money, then it doesn't stay. If things are like constantly changing, you're like, oh man, why can't I find that video that I really liked or something like that? Simple. It wasn't making money, okay? So here's what happens. They're saying, okay, here's this middle-aged guy who's an absolute dweeb, okay, and he's just watching all these videos. Hey, let's throw this thing about Star Wars in there for him. And it's like, maybe he'll like that. It does the same thing for you. Here's a middle school girl. Here's a middle school guy. You know what other middle school girls are into? This. You know what other middle school guys are into? This. And they start guiding you down a path so that one day you'll either purchase a product or watch videos about a product, and it's all about marketing and who makes money. It's all about monetization. But then something else happened a few months ago. So I do counseling. Really, it's more like mental health coaching, and I do a lot of it as part of our church and a lot of students, okay? And a lot of these students are from our community, okay? They're not necessarily part of our church. They're just coming in and they're looking for help. And I'm talking to these 2 brothers, and they are going through some really rough family stuff. Some really rough family stuff. Now, what happens when you're struggling? Here's what you don't do. You don't talk about it to your friends, right? Because it's like, you know, the weak one in the herd gets taken out, right? So you always like present like everything's fine. I'm fine, you're fine, we're all fine, okay? You also don't really talk about it with your parents because especially if it's home stuff, you're like, that's weird. So what did they do? They started talking to ChatGPT about it. And ChatGPT is interacting with them. And then this really interesting moment happened as they're talking about, texting back and forth with ChatGPT about some of their home stuff. All of a sudden they started saying he. I was like, hang on, did I hear that right? And it's like, yeah, so I said this and he responded this way. And then I responded this way and he said this back. And I'm just like, okay, ChatGPT is not a him. It's not a he. It's not a person. It's an algorithm. It's a program that is designed to feed off of information from you. It's consuming you so that it can give you back what you want to hear. It's not going to give you back what necessarily you don't want to hear. It's not programmed that way because, again, that doesn't make money. It's going to give you what you want to hear. And I've got all of these thoughts, and that's kind of what led to this whole series. And it's been a better way, that Jesus offers a better way. And so I'm kind of coming into the very last session, the text that I've been wanting to lean towards this whole time. And it's the world offers an endless feed. Jesus offers abundant life. We're going to be in John 10. And I think we're going to be 1 through 11. Yeah. I could go further. There's so much here. I would want to just do a whole sermon series on John 10. But I can't. Truly, truly, I say to you, this is verse 1, he who does not enter the sheepfold by the door, but climbs in another way, that man is a thief and a robber. But he who enters by the door is the shepherd of the sheep. To him the gatekeeper opens. The sheep hear his voice, and he calls his own sheep by name, and he leads them out. Okay, Jesus is talking to us about himself. He's the good shepherd. Listen to these steps. He enters the door, means he's coming at it the right way. He's doing it the right things. He is approved by the gatekeeper, that's God the Father. The sheep hear his voice, and he calls his sheep, so there's a relationship there. It's not somebody else's sheep, it's his sheep, and he calls them by name. Jesus knows who you are. Not just little details about you. Not like ChatGPT who can figure things out about me. Jesus knows me. And if I'm being really honest, Jesus knows me better than I know me. He knows the things about me that I don't want to know about me. And I definitely don't want you to know about me. But then listen to this in verse 4. When he has brought out all his own, he goes before them, and the sheep follow him because they know his voice. So now, it's not just Jesus, but now we're talking about Jesus' sheep. And the sheep know him, and they know him by his voice. Okay, so something you need to understand in Middle Eastern cultures and a lot of these shepherd cultures, because it is costly to create pens and things like that, they would have like a community pen, okay? And so all the shepherds that are shepherding all day long, and they've got their sheep, okay, at the end of the day, we're all going in the pen, and then we're going to like share protecting the sheep, okay? So that way it's not just me versus a wolf. It's like me and like however many other guys out there against a wolf or something like that, okay? And so they're all in this pen, and then in the morning, you've got to figure out whose sheep is whose. Well, they came up with this idea, this very clever system, that the shepherd would have a specific call. And the sheep that were his knew that call, and they would come out and follow him because they recognized him by his voice. And that was a very common practice, okay? Now, I actually got to experience this. So one of my first jobs was working on a ranch, not with sheep because they're awful, but I worked with cows, okay? And so I rode horses. I worked with cows. I had chickens. I hate goats so much, okay? Goats are evil, okay? And so, like, especially pygmy goats, they're awful. Okay, so I had a special call that I had to learn, okay, for this job, and you would go with a bucket of feed, and you would call out, I'm not going to do it, in front of everything, and you would start shaking this bucket, and all the cows would be like, bro's got food. And they would just all start coming to me, and I didn't have to go chase them down or nothing, because they were coming because they know, okay, this guy's got food. Okay, so you had to learn this call, okay? And everybody had to do it, so everyone knew how it worked. Okay, same thing. We who are Jesus' people, we Know who he is by the sound of his voice. Hang on to that thought. It's going to come back around. All right, verse 5. A stranger they will not follow, but they will flee from him, for they do not know the voice of strangers. This figure of speech Jesus used with them, but they did not understand what he was saying to them. In other words, he's got to simplify, he's got to break it down. Jesus again said to them, truly, truly, I say to you, I am the door of the sheep. All who came before me are thieves and robbers, but the sheep did not listen to them. I am the door. If anyone enters by me, he will be saved and will go in and out and find pasture. Verse 10, the thief comes only to steal and kill and destroy. I come that they may have life and have it abundantly. I am the good shepherd. The good shepherd lays down his life for the sheep. All right, number one, the algorithm wants your attention. The algorithm wants your attention. Jesus wants you. I'll say it again. The algorithm wants your attention. Jesus wants you. You hear all about the influencers, the trends, the AI, the YouTube, TikTok, friends. Like, we get into this thing where people are constantly trying to get your attention because they want you to buy something. They want you to do something. They want you to go somewhere. They want you to talk like this, walk like this, okay? For those who were here a couple weeks ago, Matt Jeter, he went through Romans 12 with you guys, right? Okay? In Romans 12:2, it says, do not be conformed any longer to the patterns of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Then you'll be test God's will, his good, pleasing, and perfect will. Okay, so you have two concepts, conformed and transformed. And I gave him an illustration. He said he used it, so I hope it stuck. It's this idea of Play-Doh. You can take Play-Doh and you smash it into a mold. And maybe the mold is Patrick Starr, right, or whatever. It's a mold, okay? You take it out, you set it, and it looks just like that mold. Then you take more Play-Doh and you smash it in there, and you take it out, and it looks just like the same. And you do it again, it's the same. And you can do it over and over and over again. That's conformed. That's what the world's trying to do to you. It's trying to make you think like them, walk like them, talk like them. It's wanting you to be just like them, their values. Jesus is different. Jesus takes a brand new piece of Play-Doh or a brand new piece of clay, and instead of a mold, Jesus sculpts. Now, a sculptor doesn't really use a mold. He has different tools. They're detail tools. And Jesus is going to form you out of nothing into something, and he's going to take his time, and he's going to craft you. This is exactly what we see in Genesis 1. In Genesis 1, it says God took from the dust of the earth, and he formed the man. And then he took from the rib of the man, and he formed woman. Okay, now everything else in all of creation, God spoke into existence. Said, let there be, and there was. Like, let there be fish, let there be cows, let there be whatever. And all of a sudden, everything just shows up. God stopped, took his time, and formed humanity. Both man and woman, he formed. Why? Because he wanted to. It delighted in him to make you his craftsmanship. This is why at the end of day 6, he looks at man and woman. He says, this is very good. Everything else is just good. And it is, it's good. But he looks at man and woman, he says, very good. Why? Because he took the time. Because he enjoyed it. In the same way, God, through Jesus Christ and through the work of the Holy Spirit, he is fashioning you. He's transforming you. Now, the thing is, the world is doing the same thing. The algorithm, right? Trying to get you to see this, do this, think this. Jesus is saying, forget all of that. Start new. Start new. So the first one is the algorithm wants your attention. Jesus wants you. Second, the world takes. Jesus gives. Verse 10, it says, the thief comes to steal, kill, and destroy. Now, I'll be honest, for most of my life, I thought that was actually talking about Satan or the devil or something like he's just out there to destroy me. And the truth is, that would actually be a true statement about him. Okay, like if this is really what that was about, it would still be true. Okay, because in other places it says that the devil is like a roaring lion prowling around, seeking whom he may devour. Okay, like he wants to ruin your life. However, that's not really who we're talking about right here. Okay, so look at it. It says in verse 10, the thief comes only to steal, kill, and destroy. Okay, what thief? Verse 1. It's right there. Truly, truly, I say to you, he who does not enter by the sheepfold by the door, but climbs in another way, that man is a thief and a robber. In other words, this is among the sheep. This is a religious leader. This is another religious leader. Jesus is actually probably looking the religious leaders of his day dead in the face, and he's speaking directly against them. You're actually going to see that later in chapter 10, that it finally clicks for them, and they're like, oh, wait a minute, you're talking about us. And he's saying, you're the thief. You came in pretending, saying that you were going to promise life, and instead it destroys you. Notice the progression here. Sin always promises life. It promises fun, and I'm not going to lie to you. Sometimes sin is fun. Sometimes it is enjoyable for about that long, and then it's not enough again. It never satisfies. It never fills. It doesn't produce joy. It just slowly steals life from you. The world says, keep scrolling. Buy this. Become this. Look like this. Talk like this. Get more followers until you don't have enough. Or until it gets old and needs to be replaced. Or until you're an old trend like you're so 5 minutes ago and now you have to get the new trend, right? Like, for example, and I mentioned this back in the fall, but I'm going to bring it back up. When I was growing up, the worst fashion faux pas you could make is Crocs and socks. Oh my goodness. Like when I was growing up, like, okay, I see the adults are like, yeah, straight up, like, okay, you couldn't even do like socks and slides either. Like that was weird, okay? And if you wanted to be an instant 6-year-old man, okay, you would go get the brown leather sandals and put those over your socks, okay? Like that was the worst fashion faux pas that you could ever do. But then in 2012, do you know what happened? Does anybody remember from the series? Justin Bieber, that's right, that guy. He shows up wearing the white Nike tube socks, which, by the way, tube socks really didn't have any sort of place in American life from about 1979 until 2012. Okay, like no one did that. And then all of a sudden he shows up in his light blue Crocs in an arcade. I love this. Grown man-child, right? An adult in an arcade with Crocs and socks. And everybody starts doing what? Crocs and socks. Why? Because they are a believer. They want to be just like him, right? They wanted to change who they are. Listen, but we do this. We do this. We do this all the time. We follow that girl from Get Ready With Me. You know what I'm talking about? That's what we do. We follow people and we say, hey, what product are they using? I want that product. Oh, look at how she did her hair. I want to do my hair like that. And all of a sudden, we're pulling all these different streamers and influencers. And do you know why they do that? Let me be completely clear. Money. Because someone said, hey, if you sell this product, we'll give you money. And so what do? I'm going to let you in on this, like the whole influencer concept and everything. They're actors. They are paid actors on a screen. And they're there to sell you something, and it's working great. Why? Because the world takes. That's what it does. It wants your stuff. It wants your money. It wants your soul. Jesus came not to be better entertainment, but so that you could have better life. You see, the algorithm doesn't actually love you. The shepherd laid his life down for you, and he sacrificed himself for you. The world takes, Jesus gives. Third, Jesus leads us into real life. Okay? Jesus leads us into real life. All right, look again at verse 9 and about the sheep. I am the door. If anyone enters by me, he will be saved, and he will go in and out and find pasture. First thing here, Jesus does not say, I am a door. He doesn't say, I'm an option. Like you can live your life however you want to. You do you. I'm over here, I'm an option in case you like me. That's not what Jesus is giving us as an option. Jesus is saying, I'm the door. You don't have to go through me, but if you want life, you have to go through me. Like he gives you the freedom of choice. Second, verse 9, I am the door. If anyone enters by me, it's an if, he's not forcing you, he will be saved and will go in and out and find pasture. Okay, so sheep, what do they do in the pasture? They eat, they rest, they grow, they're together, they're alive. This is literally the biblical version of touch grass. Like literally, that's what they're doing all day is just touching grass. Okay, so the internet says touch grass means to get offline, to get outside, to live in the real world. There is so much research that your life and your mental health will be so much better just because you're having face-to-face conversations versus texting conversations. I'm going to bring up a moment that I witnessed not too long back in our own youth group. We had been to Bravos, okay, so we're all tired. After that, we're going to IHOP. So we go to IHOP, and we have bottomless pancakes. So not only are we tired, but now we're like carved out and we're in a coma, okay? And so like, I get it, we're tired. But I looked at this table, and this is so you guys, okay? This is where I find so much entertainment. It's like a 4-person table, and there's like 8 people at the table. It's like me and every single friend I can think of are all going to fit at this one table. There's another table like right next to it. You could just move 2 tables together, but you're like, nah, we're just all going to jump around this one. And so literally you're like knee to knee, shoulder to shoulder, like you're right here. And this is what you're doing, and it's hilarious. And I'm just watching this from across the room. I'm just like, that's so weird. You're just like staring at your screen. And they're texting each other. They're texting each other. And I was like, literally, like, all you have to do is like, you do exist in real life. Like, that's all you had to do. Like, and we're talking 4 feet, maybe. Have you ever misread a text? Like, have you ever noticed, like, I call it screaming in text, where they text in all caps. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like screaming, right? And then you like see the text and you're like, oh no, they're mad at me. I've done something horribly wrong. And you're like, oh, what? And the whole day you're just like, and then you go and you meet them and they're like, hey bro, what's up? And you're like, your face and your text, they don't match. Like I'm having issues, right? Or it's like maybe it's your grandma and you know, she uses like the wrong thing in the wrong moment. Like, have you heard the meme, the lots of love that she sent to a friend who's, yeah, someone had just died and she's like, oh, LOL. Because she thought it meant lots of love, right? And it does not, right? Okay. So like, right, sometimes we get text miscommunicated. All it would have taken to clarify and to understand is what a face-to-face conversation. Jesus came because he saw that there was a thief. And the thief was taking life from us, making us pursue all these things that we thought were going to make us happy, whether it's popularity or relationships or whatever. And all these things are not necessarily bad things, but we started looking to them to make us satisfied and whole. Ultimately, walking with Jesus is what makes you satisfied and whole. And so he came to a people where there was no shepherd. There was no good shepherd. And so he came to a people to give us life. And he laid his own down just so that we could have his. I want to go back to kind of what we saw again in verses 2 and 3. Or specifically 3. To him who the gate opens, the sheep hear his voice, and he calls out his own sheep by name. Listen, if you want to have the satisfaction, and you want the abundant life, you want the better way to live that Jesus offers, it starts with a relationship with him. You have to know who he is, but more importantly than that, he has to know you. Or as Paul says, now that we know him, or better yet, are known by him. It starts with that relationship with Jesus Christ. And if you don't have a relationship with Jesus Christ, like, the abundant life is not yours for the access yet. The abundant life that Jesus is offering you, you have to surrender your life to him if you want the abundant life. Otherwise, you just get to keep pursuing all the things that steal, kill, and destroy. So you have to start with a relationship with Jesus who forgave our souls. But from there, walking with him is what produces the better life. It's what produces the abundant life. It's not the things that you get from him. Did you hear me on that one? It's not what you get out of Jesus that makes the abundant life. It's the fact that you get him. Because here's the thing. He doesn't want to just give you things. He wants to give you himself. And he doesn't want things from you because he doesn't need things. He wants you. He cares about you. He cares about who you are. He knows you, and he wants you to know him. I'm going to give you a couple challenges, and we're done. Some of you guys are going to camp with me this week. I'm going to give you a challenge. It may be hard. Put your phone down. We didn't do a hard line about like, hey, no phones. It's like, here's when you can have a phone, here's when you can't have a phone. Find time, carve it out. Maybe it's the whole week even, and you just don't even pick it up. You know what? One of the best experiences of my life was going on a cruise with no data plan. A data plan is when you pay for the internet on the cruise. And if you don't pay for it because you're cheap, then you don't get internet. And so then you're like, I can't do anything. I can't call. So you just kind of turn your phone off. And then like, if something happens, I can't be like, hey, Mr. Captain, sir, can you like turn around? Go home. Like, no one's doing that for me. And so you know what? Like the first few days, and Nicole can tell you, I struggled, okay? I was like, I don't know what to do. Like, I had to like stand in lines, because that's what you do. You stand in lines for food everywhere on a cruise, okay? And like, because they just feed you nonstop. And so I'm like, what do I do right now? I guess I have to wait. Ew. Right? And we're just the same. We're just the same. All right? So that's a challenge. Put your phone down. The second is, with your free time, use it to pursue Christ. Spend your time wisely this summer, this week, because God gives you the same amount of time that he gives everybody else. All right? He hasn't blessed you with more time or less time than anybody else. He gives you the exact same time. All right, let me conclude here and I'll be done. Let's go back to the slot machines. You remember these things? Slot machines. All right. Now let me just drop something in there for you that blew my mind when I found out about it. Because slot machines is a form of gambling, and gambling can become addictive to a lot of people. And this is a serious subject. I'm not making fun of this at all. But some of these adults will go and buy adult-sized diapers, so they do not have to leave playing the slot machine. It was in the text, I'm just like, you're kidding me. I looked it up. It's a real problem. I'm like, how bad's it got to be that you're like, I'm going to win this time. I'm just going to let it go instead. Like, ew. Like, oh my goodness. Like, that's so terrible, right? Okay. And maybe you're just like me, that when you found that out, you're like, man, that is so judgy. Like, or maybe like, oh, that's gross. And you're just judging them too, right? Like, okay. We can't stand in line for 5 seconds without pulling out our phone. We can't walk down the sidewalk without pulling out a phone. We can't drive without pulling out a phone. Some of us can't go to the bathroom without pulling out a phone. So who's more addicted? Who's more addicted? I'm going to give you a challenge, and it's going to be one of the hardest challenges, and you may find out a lot about yourself after like day 2 and you're freaking out. Put down the phone. And what you're doing is you're getting rid of all the distractions so that you can consecrate yourself for just a little bit of time. And you say, okay, God, I've set aside this time. Speak to me. Let's pray. And then I got to wrap up one last thing. All right, Jesus, thank you for this day. Thank you for these students. Thank you for everything you're doing. God, I pray that they start to hear this. I pray I start to hear this. That there is a better way to living than what this world has to offer. God, be with us as we're headed down to camp tomorrow. Be with Ethan as he preaches. Be with our leaders as they teach. Be with the games. Be with the buses. Be with us at the park, that we have a great time and build great, strong relationships. Jesus, we want to see solid fellowship in you this week. God, fill this ministry and each one of these students with your presence. God, I pray for eternal consequences because of this group and because of their time. All these things I pray in Jesus' name. Amen. All right, hey, before you go, because it occurred to me, take a seat for a second, that there are still some people who don't know. Because this morning, in the 9:30 hour, there are still a few students who did not know. And so there's probably a few of you that don't know, but you may. If you have not heard, last Sunday, I resigned as the middle school pastor of the church. I have accepted a position as the group's pastor at First City Church in Alpharetta. And so this week, camp week, is my last week. The 19th will be my last Sunday, so I'll go to camp with you guys. I'm coming back for that Sunday. We're going to have a lot of fun, okay? And that's really what this week is for. It's a lot of fun, okay? And drawing close to the Lord. And then the week after that, I've got to move. Kids got to go to school. I got a new job. All those things. I love each one of you, even JR. I really do. I love all of you. I've loved doing this for 10 years. Be entirely honest, when I took this job 10 years ago, I didn't think I would love doing this for 10 years, but I have. You guys are awesome. Doing discipleship and fun and just being able to goof off yet worship the Lord together has been an absolute joy for 10 years with you and your families and some of your siblings. I'm going to miss you. I really am. I'm going to miss this group. I'm going to miss this space and getting to hang out with you. Working with adults, and I have to grow up a little bit now. So just know that my family, myself, Miss Nicole and I, we love you very much, and we're going to miss this. We're going to miss this place. So on that downer note, thanks everybody for coming. And that concludes our day, and I will see you guys bright and early tomorrow morning at 7:30 for camp. All right. Have a good Sunday.